The Rajasthan desert has many secrets, but none as eerie as Kuldhara, a village long abandoned yet never truly empty. Locals speak of shadows that move on their own, whispers carried by the wind, and an unseen force that drives away all who dare to stay after nightfall. It is said that over 2 centuries ago, Kuldhara was home to the prosperous Paliwal Brahmins. They were a proud and self-sufficient people, known for their intelligence and trade. But their prosperity attracted the greed of Salim Singh, the ruthless and lecherous minister of the Jaisalmer kingdom. His eyes fell upon the village chief's daughter, Lakshmi, a young woman of rare beauty. Salim Singh demanded her hand in marriage. If the villagers refused, he threatened to impose unbearable taxes, forcing them into ruin. The Paliwals were proud, but they were also wise. Instead of surrendering to his demands, they made an impossible decision. One night, under the cover of darkness, the entire population of Kuldhara, some 1,500 people, vanished without a trace. No one saw them leave. No one knows where they went. But before they left, the village's priests placed a powerful curse upon the land. No one shall ever settle here again. Years passed and Kuldhara remained abandoned. The houses stood still, their walls crumbling, but their presence unnerving. Travelers who strayed too close spoke of sudden chills, despite the desert heat, of shadows flickering where no light should be. Some claimed to hear hushed voices, murmuring in an unknown language. One such traveler was Raghav, a journalist from Delhi. Unlike the locals, he did not believe in ghosts or curses. Just another village with a spooky story, he scoffed. Determined to prove the myths wrong, he and his cameraman, Anil, decided to spend a night in Kuldhara. As twilight fell, the village grew eerily silent. The wind, which had howled through the ruins all day, now seemed to hold its breath. With their cameras set up, Raghav and Anil explored the skeletal remains of the village. Inside one house, they found a rusted lantern, its glass cracked but strangely unbroken. "Imagine the stories these walls could tell," Raghav whispered, running his fingers over the faded carvings on the doorway. Anil shivered. "Let's just get our shots and leave, man. This place gives me the creeps." As darkness thickened, they returned to the center of the village. A ruined temple stood there, its deity long removed, leaving only an empty pedestal. The air grew heavy, suffocating. Then came the whisper. It was faint at first, like a breath against the ear. "Go away." Anil stiffened. "Did you hear that?" Raghav, suddenly uneasy, nodded. "Probably the wind." Then the whisper grew louder. "You should not be here." The voice was low, hoarse, almost guttural. The temperature dropped sharply, their breath misted in the air. Then they saw it. A shadow, darker than the night, stood at the entrance of a ruined house. It had no face, no eyes, just an outline of something human, yet not. As they watched, frozen in terror, it moved, not walked but glided toward them, growing taller with each step. The camera fell from Anil's shaking hands. "We need to leave, now." They ran. The village seemed to shift around them, paths twisting, houses warping. The whispers turned into wails. A force unseen pushed against them, resisting their escape. The moment they crossed the boundary of the village, everything stopped. The wind returned. The silence was gone. Panting, Anil picked up the camera. The lens was cracked, but the red recording light still blinked. Back in Delhi, they reviewed the footage. Most of it was static. But near the end, just before they ran, the screen showed something impossible. An empty street where they had seen the shadow. And yet, the whispers remained. A week later, Raghav woke to find his mirror cracked. A single word was scratched into the glass. "Leave. No one has ever spent a night in Kuldhara again."